Sit down, Mr. Jeffries.
Sir, how can I help?
Detective Inspector Long and Detective Inspector Hurst. Interview proceeding at 17:30. Please state your name and age for the recording.
Michael Jeffries, 35, again. Happy to help in any way I can.
Please, just your name and age, Mr. Jeffries.
Sorry. Michael Jeffries, 35.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Jeffries, quite the businessman.
I don't do too badly.
Modest as well. Must be quite a hit. So much of a hit that you decided to pursue a married woman.
How did you come to meet Mrs. Dobson, Mr. Jeffries?
It was at one of my work parties. If I remember rightly, she came with Sarah.
Sarah?
Of course, Sarah Beacons. She's one of my employees.
At that point, did you know that Mrs. Dobson was a married woman?
I did.
And yet you still decided to pursue her.
Look, I'm not proud of what I did, but she was just as much to blame it as I was. She was unhappy, and well, I made her happy.
When did the affair start with Mrs. Dobson?
From that night, we slept with one another the night at the party, but I never thought it would go any further, as I just thought it was a drunken one-night stand. But then she reached out to me a couple of days after, and we arranged to meet up.
And when was that party?
August 15th, so about 4 months. Can I ask, why all these questions about Laura?
She was found dead last night.
Last night.
Yes, Mr. Jeffries.
But I was with her yesterday afternoon.
You were with her last night?
Yes.
Till what time?
I can't remember. It must have been, I don't know, 5:30, around then? What happened?
She was stabbed multiple times whilst asleep in her bed.
Thank you. Sorry.
Where did you meet Mrs. Dobson yesterday?
It was at hers.
Pretty bold move to go to hers. Have you ever been?
Once.
Why is that?
Have you met her husband?
We'll be asking the questions, Mr. Jeffries. Have you met Mr. Dobson?
Once.
And how did that go?
Not so well. Mr. Dobson had to be escorted away by the police that night.
You must have been happy that he was taken away then.
I was. He's a scary man.
You're not the type to get into a fight or physical altercation with someone?
God, no. I've always been more of the intellectual sort over physical or sporty.
Going back to yesterday then, Mr. Jeffries, how come you didn't stay the night with Mrs. Dobson?
She called me over to tell me that she wanted to cut things off. She'd realised what we were doing was a complete mistake and that she was still in love with Ryan. Sorry, Mr. Dobson.
How did you take that?
I was upset. She was someone I was truly fond of, and well, it hurt.
Did you try to change her mind? Talk things through?
I did. But she was having none of it. She was adamant that she wanted to get back with Mr. Dobson.
You really don't like saying his name, do you?
A woman like Laura shouldn't be with a man like him. He is worthless. He has no money, no ambition, let alone been to prison for violence. What she sees in him, I do not know.
So she should be with
A man like me, yes. I can give her the world. Money, not an issue. Love, easy. I have it in abundance, but him, nothing. Oh, he might be able to physically beat me, but that's all he can do. If I was you, the person you should be looking into is him. He's the one with a criminal record. He's the one who's acted violently before.
Have you ever been rejected by any other woman, Mr. Jeffries?
What does that mean?
A simple question for someone like you, Mr. Jeffries. Have you ever been rejected by any other woman?
Of course I have.
How did you take those?
Fine.
Weren't you annoyed?
No.
Does Julia Patrick's ring a bell, Mr. Jeffries?
Yes.
Did she reject you?
No. We ended things.
It's not what she said.
Look, right, I don't know what you're trying to implicate here, but we ended things just fine.
Is that why you stalked her for months after it had finished?
Come on, Mr. Jeffries. We have already established that you have a track record of not taking rejection well. We have also established that you did not like Mr. Dobson. And we come to the knowledge, through your own words, that you were the last one to see Mrs. Dobson. So come on, Mr. Jeffries. Tell us what really happened when Mrs. Dobson talked to you and wanted to end things.
No comment.
Interview suspended at 18:45.
Am I free to go now?
Well, we're just getting started, Mr. Jeffries.